Hi friends, Goddess of Awesome here, and today is April 12th, 2018, and I just wanted to touch base real quick on an interesting phenomenon, So President Trump signed the, what is it called, the FOSTA SESTA bill yesterday into action, yeah? Interesting that a president or a man who ran for president and by some miraculous way became president would sign a bill that, they want to say it's about trafficking, but really it's about so much more than that. It's about taking away the rights of the sex worker. Interesting that a man would sign that given he's such a pussy lover, right? I mean, he blatantly has grabbed person's private parts, lady parts, in the broad daylight. I would call him a sexual offender. He's absolutely a sexual offender. To grab a woman's private parts through her dress or through her pants, what, you're entitled to that? You're just entitled because you have a lot of money or you have a lot of power, so all the laws or that which is appropriate is not applicable to you or persons who are very wealthy because, when you got a lot of money and a lot of power, you can just do whatever you want, huh? You can just walk on whoever you want, or you could just grab whoever you want. And it's permissible somewhere that's permissible. That's really messed up. So I just want to say that that's interesting that a president who I would consider him a sexual offender and a sexual predator on some nature, on some level, that is a sexually predatory behavior that he has openly demonstrated and spoken about. Grabbing girls. Just grabbing their pussy right through their clothes. That's okay, right? That's okay if you have a lot of money and if you're in a position of power, right? We can excuse that. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. So it's an interesting phenomenon right now that we just had a president who's a sexual violator signed away on all the persons who are sex workers, made it impossible for anyone to work. Well, because you think Donald Trump has never hired a sex worker? Who out there thinks Donald Trump has never, in the course of his human life, has never hired a sensual massage therapist to come give him a body rub and a hand job at the end? Or a full-service girl, or have hired dancing girls to come to his parties for whatever reason, for whatever occasion they may be. I just think it's very ironic, and it's more than irony, it's hypocrisy. That's what it is. So it's a very interesting day in America. Here we have a sexual offender, kind of bordering on sexual predatory behavior. I would totally, when you take things that aren't yours, that's wrong. When you grab somebody, when you grab their private parts and they're not asking you to and they did not give you permission to, that's wrong. That falls under sexual harassment, I think. And it's kind of predatory behavior. So, interesting that we have a sexual predator, or definitely a sexual offender, in the White House right now. He just signed away a big bill to stop trafficking, but really what it is, it's to disadvantage the sex worker. And then they are workers, Most people who seek a sex worker online, a lot of them are white collar. Many of them. You might think that the average person who comes to see a sex worker is a thug or an undesirable of some nature. No, no, no. Most of them, a lot of them are straight-laced, fresh-pressed, and cleanly polished. A lot of them are, you know. Gosh, ranging from so many different private sectors of business, too many to name, really. It's not, the persons who seek a sex worker is not murky and lurky. You know, people want to believe it's very shady and icky and dark. When it can be. It can be. Anything can be that. Lawyers can be shisty and murky and lurky and dark. Certain business owners can be that way. You know? There's a lot of... just because you're in a certain business doesn't make you a perfect person. You know, a lot of sexual predators find their way to the top, right? Sexual predators, some of them, put themselves in positions where they are the head honcho, so that nobody can bitch and complain and bark about them being the predator, because there's no one above them. So they got you. Got you by the balls, so to speak. Similar to pedophiles, put themselves in positions of working with children. Some of them. Not every person who works with kids. Not every person, but some of them. So it's just interesting. It's a very ironic day, or week, I should say. The last several days have been full of irony. You know, and I just wanted to touch on that and say, isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting? So I'm going to make another video here for you in a second. I don't want this one to be too long, but there's a lot of hypocrisy happening here. And definitely this is a call for action on so many levels. You know, sex workers are workers. They're not out there stealing. They actually go to work. You know, I think we're going to see some kind of a new movement, a new civil rights movement is going to uprise. And it's a very interesting time we are, 2018. Very interesting time. So that's all I have to say for you right now. I'm the Goddess of Awesome. Thanks for being here with me today. Bright blessings and be well.